Major update from the ECB on CBDCs. The European Central Bank has just unveiled fresh developments regarding its central bank digital currency, CBDC. Around 70 major market players, including merchants, fintech innovators, startups, banks, and payments service providers, have joined the Digital Euro Innovation Platform to explore cutting-edge payment solutions using the digital euro. Now here's where it gets even more intriguing. I'm going to break down what these updates truly mean and how they potentially reinforce XRP's growing involvement, not only with the ECB, but also with institutions like the Bank of France. If you dive into the platform list, you'll spot numerous Ripple-affiliated organizations. Among them, SAB, Saudi British Bank, Quant Network, QNT, and even some lesser-known crypto entities, though not all appear credible. One in particular has a market cap under $1 million, so tread cautiously. The ECB is expected to make a final decision on the implementation of the CBDC by the end of 2025, pending approval from the European Parliament. All signs suggest they are leaning forward, but nothing is official yet. Here's where things get even more XRP relevant. The Bank of France has publicly expressed interest in leveraging XRP and the XRP ledger as a foundation for a European digital currency. The bank has run numerous tests on the XRP ledger, acknowledging its suitability for CBDC deployment, highlighting speed, scalability, and security. Ripple and Quant continue to dominate the CBDC discussion as leading infrastructure providers, making them the most likely candidates for real implementation. Additionally, a report from CPA Australia affirms that the Bank of France has acknowledged XRP as a possible platform for a CBDC. While critics argue XRP is centralized, in the context of CBDCs, this may actually be a strategic advantage, allowing for greater regulatory oversight and control, a non-negotiable for central banks. Though some skeptics claim there's no official link to XRP, the connections, partnerships, and active tests speak volumes. Ripple's footprint across global financial institutions is unmatched. Even Christine Lagarde, president of the ECB, has named Ripple and Stellar as industry disruptors shaping the future of digital payments. At the end of the day, no other blockchain company comes close to Ripple in terms of institutional trust and global integration. If the ECB is truly serious about launching a digital euro that's fast, secure, and interoperable, Ripple is not just a contender, it's the front-runner. A harsh truth about progress, crypto, and the future of payments. There's a growing divide in the US, a tension between those who advocate for forward-thinking innovation and those who seem determined to resist it. And frankly, I'm not sure how we bridge that gap anymore. I've spent years deeply immersed in stablecoin technology, and I can confidently say it's the next evolution of digital payments. Yet somehow, while nearly 90% of countries around the world are actively advancing central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, certain US politicians, particularly some on the left, support CBDCs but oppose stablecoins. That contradiction is hard to digest. Both political parties have their flaws, no doubt, but this internal conflict is stalling meaningful progress. America feels more divided than ever. We can't even agree on the color of the sky. That kind of discord keeps us stagnant. Social media has only made this worse. Repetition turns misinformation into perceived truth. And once people start believing in distortions, the consequences can be dangerous. Watching President Trump's last interview, it was evident he fully embraced narratives that were objectively inaccurate, and that was deeply unsettling. And yet, amidst all this noise, one truth remains. When banks finally go live with XRP, the price will reflect it dramatically. Some experts believe we could eventually see $100, $500, or even $1,000 per XRP, driven by real-world utility, institutional demand, and mass adoption. Speaking of real impact, Ripple is making waves far beyond crypto. The company is now spearheading a $25 million initiative to support US classrooms and educators, stepping in where the government has pulled back. Schools across the country are facing budget cuts, and this kind of private sector leadership is desperately needed. If you're in a position to help, please visit Brad Garlinghouse's official Twitter page, 1.2 million followers, and contribute. Every dollar counts. In 2021, I earned $2.88 million in the crypto market, not through luck, but by getting in early, spotting utility, and leveraging high-quality real-time intel. I had never come close to making that kind of money in my life until I recognized the patterns of DeFi, tokenization, and real-world asset projects poised to dominate the next 5-10 years. The secret to wealth in crypto is not hype, it's timing, research, and positioning. That's why I created Cryptonaires, a community dedicated to sharing the most valuable early access crypto intelligence that actually changes lives. If you're ready to level up your financial journey, cut through the noise, and get ahead of the curve, this is your moment. The ultimate XRP HODL mindset, turning $1 into $1,000 and refusing to sell. Imagine transforming a single dollar into 1,000 and still resisting the urge to hit sell even as the market tempts you to cash out. Sounds insane, right? But that's exactly the mindset one hardcore XRP believer is living by. And his story might just reframe the way you see your own crypto portfolio. Why XRP feels like it's stuck below 2.30? You've likely stared at XRP's chart lately and thought, is this thing glued in place? With the price hovering under 2.30 for what feels like an eternity, even after April's harsh drop to 1.6 to 1, many traders gave up. Some vowed never to touch Ripple again. Meanwhile, X, formerly Twitter, devolved into a meme-fueled pity party, mocking XRP as dead weight. But then, a user named Barry C. dropped a tweet that flipped the whole narrative. I bought at $0.10. I'm not selling until $100. Yes, you read that right. While most of us daydream about a clean 10x and maybe cashing out for a new car or bragging rights at the next family dinner, Barry's playing a different game entirely. His mindset, treating a tenfold return like pocket change. His strategy, a profit ladder. First, take profit at $2, then again at $5, $10, $20, and eventually up to the unthinkable numbers, $50, $100, even $1,000 per XRP. It may sound far-fetched, but let's break down why he believes it's possible. Context is everything. Back in late 2024, XRP was on the verge of a full-scale breakout. Momentum surged, briefly before the market tripped over itself and collapsed. Fast forward to today, 3 straight months of sideways purgatory, analysts babbling and bag holders silently suffering. But here's the kicker. This is exactly when veteran investors begin accumulating. The ones who survived 2018's crypto winter and 2022's bear market apocalypse aren't fazed by a little boredom. They understand that price is a story, and every story has slow chapters that build to a climax. Barry's philosophy is simple. Why quit the marathon at mile 25 just because someone on the sidelines said you look tired? The math that breaks your brain, in a good way. Let's say you tossed $1,000 into XRP at $0 That's 10,000 tokens. If XRP ever hit $100, you're holding $1,000. $1 million. It might sound crazy until you remember that Tesla stock produced similar exponential gains over just a few years. Markets are notorious for humbling those who underestimate them. 2033 versus 2040, the timeline debate. So when could it happen? Barry points to 2033, 7 years from now. A long wait, sure, but not a lifetime. More conservative analysts suggest $500 XRP by 2040, a 15-year horizon that still represents historic wealth creation if you're patient. Bottom line, this isn't about blind hope. It's about vision, strategy, and conviction. Barry C's mindset isn't just bullish, it's bulletproof. He's not in it for noise. He's in it for the legacy shift.